So let's talk about champion well-being. Really, how are you honoring taking care of your body, your mental health? I mean, it's so when you're going big, there's so much pressure mentally, physically, emotionally, just everything is a tug. Tell us about how you've managed your mental health, your physical health, and your emotional health.
Yeah, so I would say let's start with physical because I feel like that's a good place to start. I would say just kind of bringing up a story. So my freshman year, I'm going from high school where it's like high level but not as intense as a D1 college. And so, people can tell you and tell you how hard it is, tell you for volleyball how many swings you're going to take, that you really need to take care of your body, but it doesn't really click until you're the person going through it and having to deal with it on your own. And sometimes there's that saying like they have to like learn through, like you can tell them so many times to do something, but then they have to learn on their own. And so obviously, again, going back to my family, just growing up in an athletic family, my parents were always telling me, you need to take care of your body, you need to do this, you need to do treatment or rehab before to make sure all those smaller muscles are like stabilized and strong. And so I didn't really understand, like I understood, but I didn't really realize until my freshman year when I had partially tore my rotator cuff, just because I didn't realize how many swings you're going to be taking, the difference between high school and college volleyball. And you're practicing every day. You're not practicing 2-3 times a week anymore. You're practicing every day, and you really need to take care of your body. So physically, um, after dealing with like a small injury like that, which I mean, any injury can be a big injury. Like I only partially tore it, but that's my moneymaker, like I have to hit the ball out there. So that was like very hard for me. And that's where I kind of realized like how much care I actually need to put in, not just in practice, not just, in the weight room, but before practice, after practice, taking care of my body, icing, doing like small exercises before practice that's going to get my shoulder ready to go. So I'm not just going out there cold and taking 100 swings or something. But yeah, I would just say physically, like being present and being like really being diligent with what you're doing, whether that's rehab before or going in to get, treatment or something like that. And as far as the emotional and mental aspect go, we actually were lucky enough to have like a psychologist, for like a sports psychologist at our school, which was super nice. And I actually used that resource, and that helped me a lot, because it's tough, being an athlete and you have all this pressure of like school and all these other things you're doing. And once it comes to the game, you're trying to focus on just that one thing and not all these different things that are going on in your head. So, and there's also, people get anxiety, like going out there to play. And especially in volleyball terms, if you're going back there on game point, you don't want to miss your serve, or you don't want to hit out or do something. So definitely training your mind. Something we actually talked about in this league was we have this app that pretty much like you don't not meditate, but like you visualize yourself doing these things before a game for 5 minutes. And they wanted us to do it like on the court, so we're really already in that setting of where the game's going to be played. And that has helped tremendously, just with that anxiety part of going out there and trying to compete my hardest and not worry about other things that are going on, but just be fully in the moment and trust that I know how to play volleyball. Like I have the skills, I've been practicing, so I can try to like take all the negative thoughts out of my mind, I guess, of like, oh, you're don't miss, but putting positive words instead of these negative words. And that shift can really help, just turning, I guess, to be a better athlete. Really is a lot of it is mental. So I would say just like training your mind and really putting like positive things in your mind rather than negative. Like if you make a mistake or something, say like I got the next one in your head, and don't keep replaying what's going on, what just happened, your mistake. Like think about the next play and what you can do better. So there's a lot that obviously goes into sports rather than just the physical part, but training your mind, I've just noticed as the games get more intense and you're moving to a higher level of like high school, college, now professionally, like there's different things that are coming out and you can't just focus on, oh, the physical. There's all these different things you have to focus on, you know, nutrition, getting enough sleep before games or practice, um all these different things.